Hey guys, it's Alex Serpentine here, back again with another video on my series of videos about the Soul Ages. This is also connected to the Aeons from Aleister Crowley's Thelema and the vMEMEs from Spiral Dynamics. I made an overview video called The Stages of Conscious Evolution, talking about everything all together about each of these Soul Ages. So you can check that out if you want an overview about everything. And then I'm going to have a video about each of the soul ages to focus a little bit more on the details of each. And I also have a test you can take to figure out which soul age you're in. It's going to be in the description of this video and all the videos on my soul age series. And so the test will tell you if you're either baby, young, mature, or old, which are all the relevant stages that you might be watching these videos. So this video is about the baby soul age, which is a focus on order and authority. So let's get into it. So this is the overview chart that I made talking about the stages of conscious evolution. In my first video, I talked about the infant soul age, which is during the Aeon of Osiris, the mother focus, and that corresponds with the beige, purple, and red vMEMEs. And now I'm talking about the baby soul age, which is a focus on structure. It's traditional, rule-bound, and order-seeking. This is part of the Aeon of Osiris, which is the beginning of the father age. It's the beginning of like the monotheistic religions that have a father god, which is masculine, structured, and rational focused. And this corresponds with the blue vMEME, which is purposeful, controlled, focused on moral order, and is more fundamentalist in its views. So I'll talk about this one in this video, the baby soul age, and then there'll be videos on all the ones following that coming up. So as an introduction, the baby soul age focuses on establishing order, structure, and morality. It represents the stage where humans seek safety through rules, traditions, and external authority. The emphasis shifts from survival to creating a sense of stability and predictability in life. So after being in the infant soul age, coming into this one is the beginning of disconnecting from the mother and looking more towards the father. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. But this is, just so you guys know, these stages are what we go through in our reincarnational cycle. So we're progressing through several lives. And so we arrive at this stage after the infant soul age. The lessons here are about understanding and following societal rules and traditions and developing a sense of belonging through conformity. The motivations are seeking safety through obedience and order and building communities with shared values and clear guidelines. So it's the beginning of how we started to form greater societies because we're starting to follow rules and traditions, looking up to authority to guide us towards how to be more controlled in our approach to things instead of just being impulsive and following our instinct. We're starting to develop more of the masculine kind of energy and structure and rules and rational thinking. Key traits are a strong emphasis on law, order, and tradition. There's a high respect for authority and external validation. It's typically very black and white thinking. It sees the world in clear absolutes and is often dogmatic and resistant to change. People on this stage are not really open to people with different views. They feel uncomfortable about people who don't follow the rules or see things the way they do. So they really need the support of structure and rules very clearly. So that's just why this is people who are really identified with a fundamentalist view, like in Christianity or the monotheistic religions and like Islam and stuff like that. That kind of follows what the baby soul age is focused on. So it's like really following rules. This is why we have like in those monotheistic religions, we have the father God because we're looking up to father, which is the beginning of the masculine energy. And that's why we have that's why God is a father God. It's because it's focusing on this law, order, tradition kind of authority kind of focus. The individual experience of the stage is The life revolves around adhering to external rules and seeking approval from authority figures. There's high concern for right and wrong as defined by societal standards, and they're often judgmental of others who deviate from accepted norms, like I said. It's this corresponds to the Aeon of Osiris, the father, guided by the paternal archetype of authority, discipline, and structure. It focuses on creating and maintaining systems of control and order. This corresponds to the blue vMEME in spiral dynamics, which is a system that talks about their stages of conscious evolution. His dominance of law, order, morality, and adherence to authority, emphasis on following tradition, group identity, and strict rules. That's what the blue vMEME talks about. Challenges are there's a fear of chaos and the unknown. That's why they need structure and rules, because they feel uncomfortable when there's none of that. They struggle with rigid thinking and intolerance of differences. The growth opportunities for the stage is to learn the value of structure while developing flexibility. They're building a sense of personal responsibility within a communal context. Regions where the baby soul age is really dominant are in Saudi Arabia, where there's strict adherence to religious law and traditions. North Korea is an example of this, where there's rigid control throughout authoritarian rule and dogma. And the Vatican City, with deep emphasis on religious order and moral authority. You can also think about this in terms of like the Islamic countries and cultures. Not every level of Islam is like that. We have like the Sufis and stuff, which is more probably old soul age kind of focus, but the really fundamentalist, controlled, following rules and following the law of the book, that's kind of really fits with the baby soul age. So an example of a baby soul is Adolf Hitler. He was actually a young soul, but he was manifesting baby when he was Hitler. And he had a strict authoritarian worldview driven by dogma and control. And so this is why, he felt really uncomfortable with people who he didn't identify were in his group of people, like his people. So that's why he kind of demonized the out group, which he identified as the Jews or gypsies or the gays or whatever it was. So that's a very kind of strong baby soul example of things. Other examples are like Dick Cheney, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Charles Manson, Joseph Stalin, and Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's actually in the baby soul age. He's got the goal of dominance, but you can kind of see the baby soul age operating in him in terms of his adherence to different religions. Like he had different stages where he was like following different religions, which is helping him, identify with structure and rules and authority in some level. So the reflection questions to figure out if you're in the baby soul age: do you feel safe and secure following rules and traditions? Do you rely on external authority to guide your moral decisions? And are you uncomfortable with ambiguity or those who challenge societal norms? If so, you might be a baby soul. So in summary, baby souls focus on creating order and stability through rules and tradition. They embody the paternal energies of the Aeon of Osiris, the first stage of Aeon of Osiris, and they align with the blue vMEME. Their challenges lie in balancing structure with flexibility and tolerance for diversity. So that's it for the baby soul age. I'm going to do a video on the young soul age, which is the next stage, which is a focus on achievement and independence. So stay tuned for that video. I'm just going to have a playlist talking about each of these soul ages. And if you haven't taken the test yet, you can take my test. That'll be in this description. It's on my Linktree. There's a section where I have tests for all the main aspects of the Michael teachings. So there's the roles also and the obstacles or dragons, if you want to look at those. But there'll be a soul age test that you can take on there. So that's it for this video. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.